with a claim from Ukraine to have shot down 6 advanced Russian hypersonic missiles during a fresh overnight barrage, described by officials as exceptional in its density. Well, Ukraine says all 18 missiles of various types were shot down. This footage shows Kyiv's air defences in action. Loud explosions were heard across the city. At least 3 people were injured by debris. Well, in a tweet, Ukraine's defence minister says another unbelievable success for the Ukrainian air forces. Last night, our sky defenders shot down 6 Russian hypersonic Kinzhal missiles and 12 other missiles. Ukraine last week displayed the remains of what it claimed was the first such advanced hypersonic Kinzhal, or Dagger missile, intercepted by the Patriot defence system a little earlier this month. Well, the latest barrage came just hours after President Zelensky wrapped up a European tour in which he was promised billions of dollars worth of military aid by Western allies. Well, our correspondent Hugo Beshega has the latest now from Kyiv.
The Ukrainian authorities are celebrating the success of its air defense systems, and it was the 8th time that Kyiv had come under attack this month, and this attack was different. We heard a number of extremely loud explosions here, and we actually saw the work of air defense systems intercepting missiles over the city. Now, the Ukrainians are saying that they shot down all 18 missiles that Russia had launched in this wave of attacks, including 6 hypersonic missiles. Now, this is significant because, if confirmed, it shows that Ukraine has the ability to destroy one of the most sophisticated conventional weapons in Russia's arsenal. And the reason behind this success is the US-made Patriot defense system that has been provided to the Ukrainians. Now, in the last hour or so, we had reaction from Moscow. The Russian defense ministry is saying that it has actually hit one of those defense systems. It has provided no evidence to support this allegation, and we haven't had any confirmation of that from the Ukrainian authorities. But again, what the Ukrainians have been saying is that the Russian strategy is to exhaust and perhaps even destroy those air defense systems that have been vital in protecting cities and towns across the country from these relentless Russian airstrikes.
Yes, and Hugo, what can we read, if anything, into the timing of this latest barrage of airstrikes? Because, of course, this comes after President Zelensky's trip across Europe, those promises of more equipment from Western allies, and, of course, I guess, ahead of that much-touted spring offensive.
Exactly. I mean, these attacks have been so frequent that it's almost impossible really to make any kind of connection between these attacks and any specific event. But yes, you're right. This happened just hours after President Zelensky finished this visit when he was promised billions of dollars worth of military aid from Western countries. And it happens, as the Ukrainians say, they are finishing their plans for this much anticipated counteroffensive against Russia forces. And again, another message that the president had in the last few days was that the country needs more military support, not only to carry out this counteroffensive, but I think to continue to protect cities from these Russian airstrikes. And I think today, after these attacks, we heard a senior Ukrainian official saying that these latest attacks are another sign that the Ukrainians need not only air defense systems to protect cities, but also fighter jets. There was a key topic in the president's visit over the weekend. Also yesterday in the UK, he discussed the issue of fighter jets with the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. This is something that Ukraine says it needs, and Western countries have been reluctant to provide.
So that's our correspondent Hugo Beshega there live in Kyiv. Let's speak now to Vitaly Klitschko, who is the mayor of Kyiv. He joins me from there now. Thank you for being with us on BBC News. And looking at the images that we saw and the descriptions that this was a barrage exceptional in density, what can you tell us about the state of Kyiv right now?
Good afternoon. Actually, last night our citizen doesn't sleep because 3 hours long is beginning in 2:30. We have alarm, a bombing alarm, and in the whole night we listen huge explosions and actually was one of the massive missiles attack to our hometown. Different kind of rockets Russians sent to our hometown, also hypersonic missiles also. And thank you very much for all our partners. The actually modern weapons, anti-missile system work pretty well. We shoot down also the super weapon of Russians, rockets, Kinzhal, and actually 3 people injured from the part of missiles fall down in our hometown. Thanks for partners, nobody's died, but 3 people right now in hospitals.
And let's talk about that air defence system. The suggestion is that this is simply Moscow trying to exhaust the systems that you have in place to protect key cities and key assets. Judging by what we saw last night, it appears that that system has been pretty resilient. Is that how you see it?
Actually, I'm not expert in the weapons, but our military forces actually present his work, and actually I told super weapon, Russian super weapons, he present his super weapons as muscles plane, and told to whole world right now we have a Kinzhal, and nobody in the world protected. We destroyed actually the mythos about one of the strongest army in the world, the Russian army, and right now destroyed also the messages about super weapon, Kinzhal, the hypersonic missiles. And actually, thank you for the help. As right now the sky much more protected in our hometown, because the safety right now the question number 1 in our hometown, and actually for every citizens of our homeland.
Yes, and I know, Vitaly Klitschko, you say you're not a weapons expert, but I want to ask you this because we've had a claim by Russia. It says that it has destroyed a US-built Patriot surface-to-air missile defense system. It says it did that with one of those Kinzhal missiles you talk about. What do you know about the security, the safety, the resilience of those defense systems right now?
We know just we received the information from military forces, and right now I give you information as mayor of Kyiv. Doesn't have damages in our hometown, and just part of missiles fall down, and we damaged a couple of cars, and small damages in the buildings, but not critical damages as a couple of months ago when the central city was in the fire. It's a lot of historical buildings was destroyed. In this case, in last night, actually was pretty loud. It's nobody sleep, but thanks we see the effect of support of our partners. Right now, the anti-missile system work pretty well.
And as far as you know, that system is still fully operational?
Yeah. They work well, and the operating is actually military forces, Ukrainian military forces make a great job with new equipment.
This is the 8th attack to hit the capital this month. A lot will be made about the timing of this latest intense barrage. Of course, President Zelensky finishing that European tour where a lot of extra resource has been promised by Western allies. We also know there's speculation about the much-touted spring offensive. Can we read much into the timing of this latest barrage by Russia and perhaps what its intentions are?
Yes, of course. It's, the question was the reason of these attacks, and we see right now a couple of last weeks the Russians try again and again to send the kamikaze drones to rockets to our hometown. They try to bring the depressive mood to our citizens and to show how good they are, and our offensive will be not successful, but we see right now the modern weapon, what we receive from our partner work pretty well. And yes, of course, everyone excited, not just in the world, also inside in our homeland. We expect offensive. I hope I'm not hope. I'm more than sure we'll be very successful, because very important. Ukrainian soldiers have a lot of spirit, good will to win, and we have also modern weapons. We time better protected and time stronger than a couple of months ago.
Vitaly Klitschko, Mayor of Kyiv, thank you for being with us on BBC News Live from Kyiv. Thank you.
Thank you very much.